Hello, I am Andrew L. Heyer, live in North Logan, Utah. I'm coming on 81 years old in October. It is now July 15th. On Friday, July 12th, while working in my rose garden, a gentleman pulled up and asked if I'd be interested in signing for a free drawing for a very special air filtering and purification system. And I said, well, normally I don't talk to solicitors. Have you got a permit to solicit in our city, North Logan? He said, yes, I do. And I said, well, I've got just a couple minutes. And he went to his car and brought in a container and started unloaded. But in doing so, he was pulling out screens and filters, which said is very important in this area because Cache Valley is rather high in smog. And a system like this, which purifies the air and the oxygen in our home, is very helpful to older people. And asked if I've had any health problems. I said, yes, I've had pneumonia twice and I've had 2 strokes. He says, this is going to be very important to you because it'll help to eliminate strokes and heart problems on older people. As he took the screens out, he identified them as different sizes to catch cat hair, those that are carbon filled, and a ultraviolet light to kill any germs in the air, leaving our home oxygen pure. He went on to tell many other improvements for my wife and I. My wife has had a few health problems, and we have allergies. And he said, Mr. Heyer, you really do need this product. In fact, for every 10 units that I sell, I get one free. Rather than selling it to you for the $1,790, I'll split with you and let you take off $79. And my wife then said, would you settle for $1,000? And he said, well, yes, if you don't tell anybody, I'll settle it for $1,000. You can have it. And you will really enjoy this. You will notice immediately the improvements. But when he turned the machine on, it was shocking and embarrassing to me to show the lights that came on to show the high amount of pollution in our home. Therefore, I felt like it would be a good machine to buy. So he took his machine and left. And we left a contract signing with dates, information, and whatever. When our son, Kevin Heyer, came home, he looked at it and looked at the manual and said, I think you've been stung. Then he looked under some covers tags had been covered, and part of the manufacturing tags had been cut out and covered with his. Right then he said, something is wrong. So he got out his computer on the Bing program and looked up this particular air freshening machine. And it had lots of details in there that were, as Mr. Wallace stated. However, the price on it was 109 euros. Whatever that was, figures out to $159.54. He said, you have been taken. So Kevin then called North Logan City and said, has Mr. Wallace got a permit to sell in North Logan? And they said, no, we have no record of it. Right then Kevin says, we've got to stop payment on your check. He called Zions Bank in Salt Lake City, and a nice gentleman conversed with him and says, yes, we will put in to stop a counter cashing of that check, and an electric transfer, which I don't seem to understand a lot of this electronic check business. Then he called back to the Logan City Police Department, which was answered by Sergeant Bennett, who asked several questions and came right to our home and sat down and visited. And he said, "Mr. Heyer, will you make some notes of the transactions that has occurred between you and Mr. Bennett?" I said, "Yes, I shall." And he was quite shocked to think of the price they were asking and the falsehoods and the scare tactics he's using with old people, that this product is a miracle machine. Yes, it does take the dust out of the air, and it had an electronic static dust collector similar to that a television machine has to collect dust on the outside, and said that he would give a 3-year contract and return every 6 months to clean and or replace filters as necessary. Corporal Wallace made some checks to see if there's other activities within the community, and said, "Now I'm going back and fill out an accident or an investigation report on this, and when he comes to pick that up, you call and tell him to come get it now. We will take necessary action to prevent people from skimming our older citizens." So I called at 9:20 Friday morning and got a hold of Mr. Wallace in Hincomb, Idaho, and he said, "I'm sorry, I can't come pick that up till Monday or Tuesday." And I said, "Larry, I want you to come get your machine now, and don't cash a check." "Well," he says, "I'll be on my way. It'll take me an hour and a half to get there." In the meantime, Detective Black had made arrangements for us to try and stall Mr. Bennett when he comes, and to call the police department just the second he arrives and make sure and get his automobile and his license plates. Well, when he pulled up, he raised the trunk of his car when he came in so that we couldn't see the license plate number, which had a valid Idaho license number. And as he hurried to load his equipment back in the box, not putting the stuffings and whatever back in, went out, set it in the trunk of his car, got him to drive off, Detective Black drove up in front of him. And Mr. Wallace says, "Move your car so I can get out." That's when Detective Black said, "Get out of your car and place your hands on the hood of your car now." And he was very firm. I don't know what all was discussed, but we was later told by the police that to be very cautious and to caution other older people that there are people out there with scams, particularly related to good health products and ridiculous prices and guarantees that can't be held up to. I appreciate the chance to talk to you and to give caution to my elder colleagues. Please check things out carefully. And Kevin did check this on the Bing program, and it did show many of the things to be right. However, it was a scam, and probably very embarrassing to the company that manufactures them. I wish you all happiness and have a good day. Thank you for your time.